Good evening, everybody. We'll go ahead and get started. I'll call to order this meeting of the Bloomington Commission on Sustainability and Resilience at 6:03 p.m. And we will do the roll call. Tara Dundale.
Here.
Here. Justin Vassell. I'm here. Matt Austin.
Present.
Present. Christopher Miles.
Here.
Here. Zach Emmerman.
Here.
Here. Dave Rollo.
Here.
Here. Quentin Gilly.
Here.
Here. Alex York.
Here.
Here. Maria Arstad.
Here.
Did I pronounce that right?
You did.
Perfect. Here. Shanghai Shu sends his regrets. Diana Ogrodowski.
Here.
Here. And Ross Carlson.
Here.
Here. All right. We've only got one absence here. This is good. Full table. Love it. Okay. Perfect. So that brings us to the approval of the agenda. Is there any, are there any modifications of the agenda?
We got a note online that we were not recording.
Oh.
I think that's what Eric is raising his hand about.
Okay.
Yeah, they're recording. Kat's is recording.
Kat's
Okay.
recording, yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
I just wanted to make sure that that was acknowledged.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Point of order, would you please admit my note taker, please?
Is there somebody waiting in the lobby?
No, I think it's are you asking to admit a digital, like an AI note taker?
It's my note taker, yes, under city policy, you are indicated to admit that. It was admitted and then it was booted out, so if you could please admit that again, thank you.
Yeah, we'll take a moment to try to sort that out. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how to do that.
Is there a way you can push it forward again? We're not seeing any option where we can admit any.
If you have intentionally removed it from the meeting, this might pose a conundrum.
Let's see.
But under Indiana code, that is an allowed thing. It's not automated, folks.
Can you try to come back?
I am at this moment, yes.
Okay.
So I can follow up with you later, but this is a very vexing problem. I'm not sure what the issue is. But thank you. I don't want to take any more of your time. Please continue.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it would help to have him leave the Zoom room and then come back in and try it again.
Problem.
Yeah.
You're welcome to give that a shot, and we can wait a moment.
The reason is you removed it from the meeting, I believe intentionally, and that action then bars it from coming back in. So it is in the waiting room right now, or it's attempting to. But again, I don't want to take any more of your time.
No, we didn't see it, but
Do we
apologies for
have a
that.
waiting room?
We've had some meetings where it's automatically joining, so we've removed it. We didn't know that you had intentionally invited the AI.
But I'm sorry to interject. Point of order. It doesn't matter whether it's automatic or not. It's an attendee. But in this case, it was.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no like.
There's no waiting room that is visible to us.
Yeah, no. Again, you'll probably have to follow up with IT. But I can follow up later. But please continue. Thank you.
Well, as you said, Eric, could you leave and then re-enter, and perhaps we can then have that option show again?
It is not. So I am joined using my Zoom account. That's what I'm attending and communicating with you now. There is a separate attendee.
Okay.
And that attendee is now not being visible because it has been intentionally removed. That's a feature of Zoom. So if you remove someone from an attendee from a meeting, if they attempt to rejoin, you do not see that.
Could you invite someone at the bottom there? That's what I was thinking.
But you are not supposed to, under Indiana code and Bloomington policy, not supposed to remove note takers.
I wasn't aware.
Yeah, I was aware.
So anyway, I don't think there's anything to be done at this point, but we can follow up later. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Apologies for that. Okay, so we'll go through the approval of the agenda. Are there any modifications to the agenda as circulated? Okay. I'm thinking, do we want to move the elections up earlier in the schedule in case we run short on time by the end? Most of the meeting format is set in the bylaws, and new business is the only place that makes sense for the elections to go, so that's where I just put it. But we could put that after commissioner reports and before discussions. Would that be all right?
I would make a motion
All
to
right.
move that,
I'll
All
second
right.
it.
That's a motion
just
and
so
a
that we
second.
get the elections done.
Perfect.
And make it that.
Okay, so that's to move item number 12A after which is the elections, after number 6, commissioner reports, and before number 7, discussions of topics not the subject of resolution. Any debate? And we don't have anybody online, so we can just do this by consent. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Okay, the agenda is amended. Are there any further amendments to the agenda? Okay, perfect. That'll bring us on to approval of the minutes from February 10th, 2026. Are there any corrections to those minutes as circulated? Okay, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Okay, and then second?
Second.
And a second, all right. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Any abstentions? The minutes are approved. Okay, so that brings us to public comment. So we've got 10 minutes set aside for this, up to 3 minutes per person. I don't see anybody in the public gallery in the room, I don't think. But is there anyone on Zoom who would like to address the commission? Okay, I'm not seeing any activity there. So we'll move on to commissioner reports. Again, I don't have slides for you this time, apologies. I've just been typing it out as notes recently. Yeah, so we'll go through the organizational updates. As you can see, things are looking pretty good. We only have, I think, 2 vacancies at the moment. And we have a new member with us. So Maria Arstead is a mayoral appointment to the commission starting this meeting. So do you want to introduce yourself to the commission, say a little bit about your background and maybe what your interest in sustainability and resilience is?
Sure. Hi, I'm Maria. I'm a project coordinator at IU, and most of my work right now is over in the trades district. I work on that CCC grant, which was from the Lilly Endowment to IU with the city of Bloomington as a partner and a sub-awardee. So our goals are just to accelerate development in the trades district and contribute to placemaking efforts, put in public art, and sort of activate the area. So yeah, my main interests are sustainability in the realm of economic development, but I'm just really looking forward to being involved and contributing.
Perfect. Welcome. Yes. Let's see. Yeah. So we've got 12 out of 14 seats filled right now. So our quorum threshold is 7. Shanghai will be wrapping up his doctoral program soon, which is really exciting. And he's going to be moving away from Bloomington probably around the end of April. So congratulations to him. And he wasn't able to make it tonight. He had another engagement, but hopefully he'll join us for the meeting in April. And we can bid him a proper farewell at that point. And he did mention that he is still hoping to sneak in another sustainability forum. We had one of those so far, and he wants to do another one before he wraps things up. So we'll look out for that. Just a quick follow-up on Resolution 2026-01, which we adopted after a second reading last time. That was applauding the city's response to the lapse in federal funding for SNAP benefits. So just wanted to let everyone know that that resolution has been forwarded on to the relevant offices, Office of the Mayor, Community and Family Resources Department, and Council. So thank you, Sean and Jolie, for getting those to where they need to go. The strategic planning retreat. Working to find a time and format that works for both commissioners and for staff. So keep an eye out for announcements between this meeting and next, probably. Thinking a little more about the timing for this, I think late March or early April is actually a pretty solid time to do this if it's going to be something that we do every year. Naturally, it kind of makes sense to start thinking about it after the start of the year, but of course, then in February we have terms switch over, and then in March we have our elections. So it might not make that much sense to do a lot of strategic planning and then have a bunch of turnover or something, right? So this might actually work out pretty well. So yeah, stay tuned for that. 2025 annual report, still getting the final details on that. And then the O'Neill School capstone project on sustainability energy utilities. So Alex had worked to set kind of a final, an in-stone date for the final presentation on those results. And so it's scheduled for Tuesday, April 28th from 5:30 to 6:30. So it's the same day of the week, but a different week in the month than we usually meet. And it's a little bit earlier than we normally meet. And that'll be in council chambers, so it's a different venue as well. So this will be an official meeting for BCOS, so it will be noticed, but we want to make sure everyone can attend that, or at least we can get a quorum there. It would be pretty awful if we showed up and weren't able to do a quorum for something like that. So I did put together a very simple form for you to just indicate whether you can make it or not. And I've linked it here in this report, but I'll send out an email with that as well, and maybe a couple of reminders as we get closer to that date, so we can make sure we'll be good for quorum on that. A couple external updates. Congratulations to Sean and the rest of the sustainability team here at the city for the CDP A list rating that they got for the second year in a row now. That's awesome. The only other one I have on here is that Council passed Ordinance 2026-04, which renames our commission, among other things. There's also some movement around from different sections of the municipal code to other sections, some kind of consolidation that's happening. So the section of the code that governs BCOS specifically will get moved to section 2.02.120. And if you've looked on the online version of the city code for this, you might not see it there yet, at least as of yesterday, I didn't see it. That gets updated periodically, but those provisions are in effect now. There's a couple miscellaneous reminders and notes just about the waste reduction district, the Monroe County compost bin and rain barrel sale that's going on right now, and the order deadlines for that are April 15th, and then the pickup dates are April 24th or 25th. And then, of course, the city's still championing their Bloomington Energy Works program, so continue to spread the word about that. And then one that I didn't add to my report, but I'll just say verbally here, is Earth Day. So we talked about this last time. We had some volunteers that were willing to staff the table, and we were going to talk about some materials that we might start getting together once we have the name change go through. So just want to remind folks that that's happening, and maybe I'll ask now, Tara, if there's anything else besides, new logos or names or whatever for the materials. Is there anything else that you need from the commission to start prepping for that?
I don't think so. I need to follow up with Jolie about what we can do and what we can order. But I have completed the form to reserve our spot, so we confirmed that we have a space at the pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have another business meeting before that event. So in the interim, I'll talk to Jolie and then can report back on what we'll have then.
Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe if we want to have copies of the resolutions that we've passed maybe in the last year, people to look at, or things like that might be something. Or
okay.
Yeah, we could do a form the way we've done other information collecting from the commission if people have specific suggestions of materials too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that might be helpful.
And if you could, I can compile all of it, or you can compile all of it.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Excellent. Definitely looking forward to that, and thanks to everyone who's helping. Okay, as usual, I've got a list of resources there if you want to link to anything in the report. But otherwise, I think that's it for me. So any questions before we move on to the next item?
I'll say thanks. It looks like we've worked on making things accessible since our new accessibility guidelines are coming into play very soon. Might connect with you more on that, just about, there's a few templates that were provided today that could help going forward. So thanks for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely feel free to forward those things along to me, and yeah, just took my swing at looking at the requirements and ran it through a couple checkers and stuff. But
Oh, nice. Okay.
there's still some pack materials and stuff that need to be sort of brought to alignment there. But
Yeah.
so awesome. Okay, great. Any other questions?
We're getting the screen blinks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what causes that.
It's okay, we can just live with it.
At this
Yeah.
rate.
I think we just
We're
need to
used to
like
it now.
stop sharing. And then
Yeah, that's good. If you just cross your eyes, it probably look normal. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, so that's my report. Matt, do you have anything for us on waste management?
I'm gonna skip my report this week so we can get on to all the work we've got.
Okay, wonderful. All right, that brings us to a report from Council Ex Officio. Councilmember Rallo, do you have anything for us?
Just a few things. So Hopewell Development, which is, a big deal, that is city-owned land that we're developing, including priorities for affordable housing, has been, we have a second discussion on it on March 25th, regular session. And it may conclude that evening. We may have some reasonable conditions. We can't amend it as it comes from the Plan Commission, but we can agree with the petitioner on some reasonable conditions. So you might want to pay attention to that. Another item is that our deliberative session is tomorrow evening at 6:30. That's to discuss council budget priorities for the year, and they include things that are related to sustainability, climate action plan, transportation, safe streets for all, affordable housing, food security, renewable energy, and those sorts of things. So that's tomorrow at 6:30, and that's to indicate to the administration our top priorities from the council, so that when we see the budget later in the year, we hope to see that there's some money devoted for those things. And they follow on things like the climate action plan, et cetera. So I think that's all I've got.
Perfect. Thanks so much. Any questions? Yeah.
Yeah, I asked Isak, and he mentioned, I was asking about the resolution we had for the increasing chicken flock sizes.
Oh, yeah.
And he said you'd mentioned that in the committee, so I wasn't sure what we needed to do to get that up to city council to start debating.
It's been sort of discussed among members here and there, and we're sort of in a tight spot right now because we don't have any administrative staff. Our council attorney and assistant attorney positions have to be filled, so we're sort of in a state of limbo for a little while.
Got
But
it.
it's certainly on the docket, and I support it. So
Yeah.
I think Isabel is another person who might sponsor it and so forth. So it's there. It's just going to take a while because we're doing what's absolutely necessary just to keep the city rolling along. So.
Thank you.
Like the name change code, is it something where if we did draft legislation as an amendment to a resolution that's helpful to council?
I think that would be a good help. Yeah, I mean, it would have to pass the muster of whatever attorney to make sure. I'm not an attorney,
But as a
it's a template.
Not starting from a blank slate.
That would be great. Love to see that. So yeah.
Good. All right. Well, thank you very much. Any other questions? All right. Well, then that brings us on the amended agenda to the officer elections. So let me pull up the slides. Just mention a couple reminders here. I did lower the resolution of my slides a little bit, so at least it's not so giant compared to the rest of the packet materials here. It's still kind of giant. Okay, so you've seen this slide a couple times before. You don't have to read through all this now. This is kind of just a reference thing, but these are just the rules and requirements that relate to elections in some way, shape, or form for this commission. The real stuff that pertains to us for the most part today is just the description of the different positions here. So we've had a couple discussions about this at previous meetings and about what the format should be and all that, and we sort of just landed on having a more casual process like we've done in the past, where we kind of just go position by position and ask if anyone wants to do it. And then we just work out the votes from there. So yeah, should be pretty straightforward. And I'm sorry, the last bullet point there on vice chairperson seems to have been cut off there. But it's basically just saying that in the absence of the secretary, the vice chairperson is responsible for taking the minutes. And Tara knows this well. That's right. And again, there's sort of two paradigms. We could have a chairperson / vice chairperson, which we've done for the last few years, or two co-chairs, where the co-chairs decide how they want to split up responsibilities, and then the commission at the next meeting, votes on signing off on that, basically. We'll start at the chairperson and work our way down. So is there anyone who wants to make a nomination for chairperson?
I nominate Justin.
Second, yeah.
Thank you. I'll accept the nomination. I guess let me ask if there's other nominations for chair.
Going once, going twice.
All right. Let me ask this. Is there anyone who'd be interested in being a co-chair?
Theoretically, I would, if to help share the load with you, for you to help share the theoretically, but I'm not like gunning for it or really, really wanting it, to be completely honest with you. But
in practice, the
Yeah.
vice chair, like, it says that the chairperson can
Yeah.
like delegate
Yeah, okay, yeah.
pretty much whatever they want, so it's functionally the same. It's
Okay.
really a title difference.
No.
It's delegated rather than like a cooperative
Yeah.
decision making,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
The same
it
function.
functions
Okay.
effectively the same, I think.
Mhm.
At least under this administration.
The vassal administration.
All right. Any other nominees for chairperson? One more. Go. All right. In that case, we'll move to a vote. I don't know. Should I call the vote? That seems weird.
I think
I can do it. We need to do a roll call vote for
We do need a roll
right,
call
yeah.
vote for this, yeah. Do you have a copy of the agenda in front of you? It's
I
got the
do.
list of
Yeah.
people there.
Yeah.
Shingwai is the only one who's absent, and I don't think we had anyone else join online. All right, so,
Sorry,
I
I'm
will,
doing two jobs.
yep, exactly. Yep, whenever you're ready, I will delegate the floor to
Okay.
the vice chair.
This is for the nomination of Justin Vassell as chair of the commission. Tara Dunderdale, yes. Justin Vassell,
Yes?
Matt Austin,
Yes.
Christopher Miles,
Aye.
Zach Everman,
Yes.
Dave Rollo,
Yes.
Quentin Gilly,
Yes.
Alex York,
Yes.
Maria Arstad,
Yes.
check my sign here, Diana Ogrodowski.
Yes.
Say it right.
Close enough.
Okay. Ross Carlson.
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations, Justin.
Well, thank you very much, and
Yeah.
thank you for the vote of confidence. I've had a lot of fun being chair. This will probably be the last time that I do it, so start thinking ahead for next year. I think it is good to have new leadership, from time to time. So, but I'm definitely looking forward to the year ahead. Okay, then, and thank you, Tara, for taking the roll call on that. We'll then move on to the vice chairperson position. Are there any nominees for vice chairperson?
Nobody else.
I'm just gonna not say,
Yeah.
are you interested?
Sure, yeah.
Then I would nominate Zach Everman.
Okay, perfect. We have a nomination for Zach, and we have a second. Excellent. Are there any other nominations for vice chairperson? All right. Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote to elect Zach Almerman as vice chairperson. Tara Dunderdale?
Yes.
Yes. Justin Vassell? Yes. Matt Austin?
Yes.
Yes. Christopher Miles? Yep. Yes. Zach Almerman?
Yes.
Yes. Dave Rollo?
Yes.
Yes. Quentin Gilly?
Yes.
Yes. Alex York?
Yes.
Yes. Marina Arstad?
Yes.
Yes. Shangwai Su is absent. Diana Ogrodowski?
Yes.
Yes. And Ross Carlson?
Yes.
Yes. Unanimous vote. Congratulations. Okay, that brings us to the secretary position. Are there any nominations for secretary?
If that's what you're looking at me about.
All right, we have a nomination for Tara Dunderdale.
Second.
Second, perfect. Any other nominations for secretary?
I accept.
Well, that's good. We should probably confirm that before we hold a vote, shouldn't we?
Normally wants this.
That's right. All right, these are contentious elections this year. Yeah. All right, we'll move on to the vote then to elect Tara Dunderdale as secretary. Tara Dunderdale.
Yes.
Yes. Justin Vassell, yes. Matt Austin?
Yes.
Yes. Christopher Miles?
Yep.
Yes. Zach Almerman?
Yes.
Yes. Dave Ralla?
Yes.
Yes. Quentin Gilly?
Yes.
Yes. Alex York?
Yes.
Yes. Maria Arstad?
Yes.
Yes. Sheng Lai is absent. Diana Ogrodowski?
Yes.
Yes. And Ross Carlson?
Yes.
Yes. All right. It's unanimous. Congratulations. Congratulations. And thank you for your service. Continued service.
Discovering I don't know how to spell the word unanimous, though. I've
Oh,
written it
yeah. Just
several
anonymous is probably how it
times
comes
all
out,
wrong.
yeah. All right, and that brings us to our last position, which is the treasurer. This is always the most exciting position to vote for. So just for some context here, the official role of the treasurer is to facilitate the preparation of the annual budget as required by municipal code. We've generally had a $0 budget, at least since I've been on the commission, so we don't really prepare a budget. But also to facilitate efforts of the commission members to identify funding sources in order to execute the strategic goals of the commission. We could definitely use a hand in that regard, I would say. So currently Matt Austin is the treasurer. Yeah, question?
I just have a question,
Mhm.
if this is an appropriate time to ask one about that.
Yeah.
So as you've just been elected as the chair for the next year, do you have any plans that would involve seeking funding that would necessitate something like a formal budget?
I think it would be great if we could identify some outside sources of funding, even if we had $1,000 in the bank, that would be awesome, I think. So I think it would be good to at least kind of build up a little bit of that muscle memory and institutional momentum on that front, even if it's not that much.
Is the treasurer a position that involves grant writing?
Potentially, yeah.
Okay.
But certainly it wouldn't be, you wouldn't be alone in that, right? Other commissioners could help with that as well.
Yeah, officially, it would just, it would just be identifying grants and then say, somebody apply to this.
My personal preference would be to prepare the grant and give it to the treasurer, but that's just me.
Yeah.
So are you saying you're interested in being
Not necessarily,
Okay.
I was just trying to clarify some possibilities.
Okay.
Fair enough. All right. Well, are there any further questions about the treasurer position? Are there any nominations for treasurer? Well, I will put a nomination for Chris.
The only hesitation I have is things are a little up in the air for me come later in the year, so I am not the safest bet for an annual position in that regard. I wouldn't want to disrupt anything.
Fair enough.
We have been operating without a secretary for a while.
We're used to it.
It would just
We don't
become
recommend
Zach's job.
doing that.
Are there monthly duties involved?
No.
It's mostly, at this point, a
Make
nice
sure-
resume
Yeah.
builder.
Outside of us actually pursuing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting a strong feeling that a full board would be preferred here.
We would prefer to have no vacancies in the ranks, but others could also nominate others or themselves.
I can't nominate, or I can't second my own.
I second.
Okay. And then do I have to accept formally?
We would very much prefer you accept before we vote on it.
Well, I meant, yeah. Accept the
Duress.
nomination and then you can have it voted.
Yeah.
I accept the nomination then.
Okay.
Having greatness thrust upon you.
Yeah. That's right. So it's a voluntold situation.
With great power.
That's right. Okay. Are there any additional nominations?
It'd be great if this was the position that was really contentious.
I know, right? Yeah.
How dare you take that position?
All right. If there are no further nominations, then we'll move on to a vote to elect Christopher Miles as the treasurer. Tara Dunderdale.
Yes.
Yes. Justin Vassell. Yes. Matt Austin.
Yes.
Yes. Christopher Miles.
Yep.
Yes. Zach Ammerman.
Yes.
Yes. Dave Ralla.
Yes.
Yes. Quentin Gilly.
Yes.
Yes. Alex York?
Yes.
Yes. Maria Arstad?
Yes.
Yes. Sheng Wai is absent, I believe. Still not good. Yeah. Just double check. Diana Obradowski?
Yes.
Yes. And Ross Carlson?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Congratulations and thank you for your service. Okay. That wraps up the elections for 2026. So congratulations to everybody. Well done, and thank you everybody for stepping up. All right, that brings us back to our regularly scheduled programming. Item number 7, discussions of topic not the subject of resolutions. So that is the commission logo update, and I'm kind of using the word logo loosely here.
Masthead.
Yeah, masthead. Yeah, exactly. So it's just kind of word art, really. I've put together a couple of options. We can choose to go with one of these options today. We don't have to. We can choose to come up with additional options.
Sorry to interrupt you. I just don't want you to get ahead of yourself.
Sure.
I've been informed that commissions are not supposed to actually move forward using the city logo, like the city symbol, and to
like
have
the seal?
a formal logo. I've asked the Office of the Mayor legal, Julius, to reach out to you with like more of a formal explanation about why. I'm sure you're curious about just the policy around that. But yeah, so just to inform you.
But
Okay.
isn't it on our city website?
Yeah, it's there now.
Like on the bloomington.in.gov.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our current
So-
logo right now, isn't it? Or
That's
our-
what's on
Our page, our commission page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that.
Well, I don't know if it's on the
think
website, but it's on all of our
has
documents, like our resolutions and things, which is, I mean, if we need to change it, you need to change it, but,
it. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just, that is the
Yeah.
preset thing, I think.
I mean, we could just remove the seal from it and just have a masthead, just the words, at least for now until, and maybe we get other guidance or decide to, there's a process or something, or we could always make our own logo or something. That would be fun.
And the graphic designer can do.
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
if you
exactly.
Sorry, I got really excited. We could also, I've noticed some of the other commissions have done like youth essay contests. We could do an art contest.
Oh, yeah,
with, like,
that
the
would be
elementary
cool.
schools.
Yeah,
I just have one point.
yeah.
If the concern with B is that it scrunches the bottom line, is there policy reasons you couldn't use an ampersand and increase the font visibility? Instead of the
I wouldn't have an issue with that. I think it serves the same. That would help a little bit, yeah. I imagine we could do that.
I like the third one, especially if the city's gonna say you can't use any of our stuff. That one's the one that's like
Just
the
gonna
easiest
say,
and is our
I think if we can't have the city
our mission
seal,
central. Yeah.
If I had to pick
everything.
between those two, I'd go with option C, yeah,
Okay,
as well.
Agreed.
Agreed.
okay. That's pretty easy. Anyone who's like, no, A or B, that's the one. Any dissenting opinions?
Graphically, I'd like it to be better for the weighting, but I really don't care.
How does that one look in the back of the room? You're like seeing it from a distance.
I mean, well, it's
Wait, it's not.
when it was stable, when I was looking at my phone earlier, I mean, I like that it is focused on less on the commission and more on the mission of the work.
Mhm.
And then that's like the thing that is front and
For
center.
option C, you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
And I
the
think
name is
if the city doesn't want us to be using like city branding, that one is also the farthest from city branding.
Yeah, just because it doesn't say City of Bloomington in it, sort of thing.
Do you know, so smidge off topic, but are we gonna go by BCOSR or BCSR?
It's a good question. I've seen some instances of BCOSR in emails. I've seen one with the R in parentheses. I think I still refer to it as BCOS at some point.
Gosser.
You know, we can also talk about that now because I think it's all part of the kind of branding discussion. What do folks think about that?
I thought that was settled. I thought we were just BCOS, but we have the R.
Yeah, I know we've talked about it a little bit before.
But I mean, I'm not partial to that necessarily. But
think saying it out loud, rolling off the tongue like BCOS rolls off tongue, BCOSer, it kind of works. I think part of the reason why when we were thinking of the different variations of the name that we went with, just and resilience was that it still had the same core, cost core, and those things didn't get flipped around anywhere.
For SEO.
Well, I think we were afraid it would be confusing too for anyone who's switching over if they are familiar with BCOS at all.
Right, yeah.
And this would just be stuff that we would use on our own internal documents because we can't.
Yeah.
We don't.
Abbreviate.
Yeah, and we don't make like public. We can't independently make like press releases. It has to go through the city's like legal department, and branding is part of that probably. So.
Yeah. So yeah, BCOS, BCOSer.
Okay.
I guess just to use it however you want.
Works for me.
Okay, great. So, part of the reason this is on the agenda for today is just because we have this event coming up where we want to print some stuff, and so we want to have something that we can print on there. So, it sounds like people are mostly in consensus about option C. Do we want to take a quick vote on that? It can even just be a voice vote for option C minus the city seal. And then at a later meeting, if we hear back from Julius or the team at the city and there's a way to incorporate it back in, we can always revisit it at another time. But okay, awesome. All right, so yeah, let's move to a vote on that then to adopt option C without the city seal as sort of the official masthead going forward. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Any abstentions? All right, perfect. It is approved. Thank you very much. Okay, that brings us to agenda item 8, resolutions for second reading. So resolution 2026-02, and there's a couple items in the packet here related to this. The first one that we have here is this community joint letter supporting the resolution. This was mentioned at our last meeting. We had some folks speak during public comment, and they read the text of this letter out loud and mentioned that they had, I want to say roughly 155 signatures.
Document,
yeah, at the time, and I think since that meeting they got an additional 20 some. And so this version in the packet is the version that has the full list of signatures in it. Wanted to include that there for the record. And then there's this memo that was written by the sponsors of the resolution, just laying out, this is the kind of TLDR purpose of the resolution. This is a bit longer. So we won't go through and read this right now, but it's you should have a copy of it in front of you or near you if you want to take a look. And then here we have the core of the resolution language. So there's a lot of whereas clauses. That's a lot of research type stuff. And then there's 4 sections to the, therefore, 5 sections to the therefore be it resolved sections. So section 1 there is just findings. Section 2 are recommendations to the Common Council. I do have an amendment queued up to make some changes to that. Section 3 is recommendations to city administration. And section 4 is a statement of values for the commission. And then section 5 is just who this should go to. I guess I'll open it up for discussion, and maybe real quick before we open the floor, I'll just mention that the amendment that I have queued up is just a couple things. A lot of it's just bookkeeping. We did have a name change since then, so it's just going through and replacing all of those. And then in the first instance of that name change, I've just put in parentheses the commission because I referenced the commission referring to us several times throughout the resolution. Same thing, there's a sustainable development goal mentioned somewhere, and then there's SDG listed later, and so I just wanted to put a parentheses there. Again, there were some code changes, so our section of the code for BCOSer isn't 2.12.100 anymore, it's 2.02.120, so there's some changes there. And then the only real substantive thing is a new whereas clause that would go right at the end, and that is just referencing what City Council has done since the last time we met, which was they passed their own resolution about flock and automated license plate readers. And that resolution, had some requirements for a briefing to be held, a public briefing to council and some other things there. So that final whereas clause would just acknowledge that that is something that happened. And then section 2 would be rewritten. I've got the language there in the amendment form. That would change the recommendations to council to not say, we think you should have a briefing, because now they've agreed to do that. So basically, just to say, hey, here's some model legislation that we think would be good for future considerations. Maybe before I go through the process of actually introducing that amendment, like making a motion for it, let me just open up the floor to get some initial discussions.
Can I just ask if we could just really quickly review what the process is for this? Because there's a lot. I think we're in like the nested motions.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what we'll do, and that's actually a good point, because really the next step should be somebody makes a motion to, adopt this, and then there's a second, and then we enter debate. And so that's when we have all of our discussions. That's when amendments get offered, that sort of thing. So then if an amendment is being offered, somebody makes a motion during that debate for an amendment, somebody seconds it, then we move into debate about that amendment only. So now we're kind of in this nested thing, like we're just in amendment mode.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we're done with discussion, we then have a vote on that amendment. It either passes or fails, and then we're back into the broader resolution discussion where more amendments can be made, or we can wrap up discussion and move to a final vote to adopt. So does that process make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With amendments, that delays it another month.
No, we can make the amendments right here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the initial reading of the unamended version has to be done twice. Yeah. Given that, let me make a motion to adopt this resolution so we can actually go into the debate phase.
Seconded.
And there's a second. Okay. So now we're in the debate phase. Any other questions or anything about this before we tackle the amendment? Okay, not hearing any. So I'll make a motion then to amend the resolution as provided for in the resolution amendment form that I attached to the packet. Let me bring that up on the screen just so everyone can see it.
Is this one motion for all of the amendments? So the changes
Yeah,
in code
I'm doing all this as a batch. I figured that would be
Proposed
a
amendment.
much easier thing to do.
Perfect.
Again, the only real substantive thing is this new language about what City Council has done since last time we met, and the rest is just kind of like housekeeping stuff.
Perfect. Yeah. I think that we could nest one level further if we wanted
can.
to amend the amendment.
We can amend
If
on an
there's-
amendment.
Yeah, but then beyond that, it's a separate
Yeah.
process.
So we can inception that if we want to that level. If somebody saw a typo in my amendment here, that would be a time to amend the amendment, right? So this is what the amendment is, and it did include in the packet materials. Hopefully people got a chance to take a look, just the change log here of what it would actually look like where these changes are happening. So you can see the bulk of the stuff is kind of at the end here. But let me bring it back up to that summary form because it's a little easier to see everything at once. So any discussion about the amendment?
Sorry, you moved to adopt the amendment. Was there a second?
I did move to adopt the amendment, and I don't think there was a second, right? So is there a second?
Okay.
Thank you. Great. So now we're in discussion. Any thoughts on the amendment?
I think these are good changes. Some of them are necessary changes for it to be correct, given the changes that have happened to city code and our commission. And I think it's useful to reference the work that council has already done.
Perfect. Any other comments? All right, then we can move to a vote on the amendment to the resolution. Just jot down a note for myself here. Okay, and we'll do a roll call vote for all this stuff. Okay, so on the amendment to the resolution, Tara?
Yes.
Yes. Justin? Yes. Matt?
Yes.
Yes. Christopher?
Yes.
Yes. Zach?
Yes.
Yes. Dave?
Yes.
Dave Rawl? Yeah. Yes. Quentin?
Yes.
Yes. Alex?
Yes.
Yes. Maria?
Yes.
Yes. Shing Lai is still absent, I believe. Diana?
Yes.
Yes. And Ross?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. The amendment passes. 11 people? 11 to 0. Okay, so that brings us back into the main resolution. So this is a time to discuss the resolution, ask questions, share your thoughts about it, or propose additional amendments. I will note that I had sent out some emails about if there were amendments that people want to bring forward, they could send in a spreadsheet with those details. I didn't get anything back, but if you still had something you wanted to amend, we can still do that here live.
I had a thought that I'm sorry that I'm this late in bringing up. It doesn't, I would leave it to you all to decide whether or not it warrants amendment, but, so I like the resolution as is. I have no issue with adopting it as is. The only thought I had was, so I appreciate invoking the code that establishes the commission, and even you would presumably invoke the code that establishes the department that the commission is under. In terms of linking the thesis of the amendment to the rationale for the board's existence and its mandate, one thing I thought that I didn't necessarily notice here that might add something to that is Flock is a company that operates using enormous amounts of computing power for machine learning, is an advocate for data center construction, employs quote unquote AI, which is a major tapper of all kinds of different water resources, and so on and so on. There is a direct sustainability quotient, not even getting into like mining and conflict minerals, et cetera, that I think the question of enlisting more and more quote unquote AI concerns doing the business of city government, et cetera, I think would add something to the rationale that is already laid out here and already linked to the SDG mandate in your proposal. So that's why I say I don't know how significant this is, but I didn't know if explicit language to that end would align this even more obviously for someone taking a look at it, wondering why a sustainability commission would be the sort of one out front on this or not. But that was just a thought. I don't know if it's worth amending. I don't know how much work that would take, and I don't want people to have to stay late today if they don't want to.
Sure. Any other thoughts on that? It's a good point.
I think it's a really good point. In terms of what can I address that
please.
question? In terms of like what the additional work is, it is writing down the additional whereas clause that we want to add in here.
I would have had that done.
Yeah.
I was looking at this before the meeting and I was like, I have not had the time to write a paragraph to submit to you. I apologize for not having it.
That said, that angle of it could also be grounds for a subsequent resolution from the commission as well, or a subsequent on Flock or automated license plate reader specifically, or on the city's use of technology that relies on data centers and that kind of machine learning in general. I think either of those would be.
And I do have plans to potentially work on something having to do with data centers as well, so we can maybe work that into that if you wanted to in a second.
And other commissioners have started some of that work as well, so,
great.
Yeah.
Any other discussion?
I said this last time, I'll say it again, I'm super in support of this, I think it's fantastic, and I think it's exactly the sort of work we should be doing, so. Yeah.
Let me, here, I'll throw a prompt out there. Except for where did my copy go? Let me pull it up here on the computer. What about section 5 here? So I picked out a couple of organizations to send this to. So the mayor, con council, city clerk, corporation council, chief of police, board of public safety, and Bloomington Monroe County Human Rights Commission. Those were kind of the organizations that in my mind had some, clear alignment with this. Some of them for different reasons. this seem like a good list to folks? Is anything missing? Does one of these things not seem like it belongs?
Does it fall, maybe this would be a question of a subsequent one, but if the environmental commission would be relevant, but I think that would require that. It would be more in their wheelhouse if we were talking more explicitly about the data center impact,
I mean, I do think that this resolution stands on its legs on its own, like the social sustainability side.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, including a whereas wouldn't have been terrible, but I don't have any problem sending it to the environmental commission to see if they want to do some of that work on their side, if they're interested in that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing stopping you informally from sending it to the chair.
That's true.
Yeah.
I can just agree to do that, even if it's not in the.
Yeah.
For other organizations, since Monroe County and IU are both users of Flock, would it maybe be a good idea to send something to those organizations to be like, hey, very closely related community, this is something that we're recommending and thinking of?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think that could be valid to but since we're not technically part of like Monroe County or IU, like could we add that to the? I don't know. I think it would be something you'd have to do informally, right, on the site or.
I mean we can always send them something if we just need to identify who the right POC is.
Yeah. No, but I mean to put it in the resolution.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just need to show we can.
I think putting it in the resolution would just carry the weight of saying like, hey, we're
formally addressing
yes,
it.
we
Right.
want you to get this, not just like we've sent this to all the community partners.
I think that the like really integrated jurisdictional nature of our community between like IU County, I mean, I know that this is really impactful for like pedestrian safety, right? Is that like some of these roads are IU's and some of these are ours and some of these are the counties and then we'll get the state in there. So like this is, we are an integrated community of jurisdictions and I think recognizing that is good.
Yeah.
It's parking is who's currently using ALPRs on IU's campus.
Oh, is it?
It's
not IUPD?
It's well, I don't know who like owns it, but it is parking. It is being piloted currently in their parking facilities.
Okay. So if we did this, what would the amendment be to add it to like board of trustees
and county council,
county commissioner,
and commissioners.
Who else with IU?
I mean, you could say the faculty council. You could say the parking. You could say parking and facilities. It could be the Office of Sustainability, even at IU. I mean, that's just sending it to Quentin.
Well, you can send it to
formally sending it to Quentin.
Yeah.
Well, I would say you can send it to Transportation Demand Management over there as well.
Okay.
Would there be a value in sending it to IUPD?
Yeah,
I would think so.
Yeah.
No.
Who knows? Maybe they're thinking about it. I don't know. It would be valuable.
Yeah.
Should we add the sheriff on there?
We could.
The county sheriff.
Yeah. If we're doing this, then we might as well. I don't know.
So, sorry, I'm like pain about procedure. So are we proposing a single amendment to add and then create a list of additional bodies that we want to transmit it to? Okay.
But it might be helpful to get that core list and then make the motion.
Yeah. I want to write down what we're saying. So.
Because who really has, let's take IU for example, who has control over that, right? Is that something that comes up to the Board of Trustees level? Is that something that they can, obviously they have a lot of policy-making power on campus, but is it something that they say, that's implementation stuff?
Yeah.
I was going to say parking falls under auxiliaries, I believe, which is Luke Leftwich's office. I believe the person is Amanda Turnipseed. I'm going to double check that. But
somebody knows that they're using it for parking?
I know that they're using it for parking
using
because I'm an employee and it's in their parking
yeah,
documentation that they're that like you still have to use your hang tag.
Supposedly they'll let
And-
us get rid of the tags eventually if it works, is what they
Yeah,
tell
but
us.
it's not. Yeah, it's not in
Yeah.
all. It's not. It's like in a few
Okay.
facilities, but I don't think they tell us which ones.
Have they been deflocked?
I don't know. I have like a commuter pass, so I only park on campus like once a month.
So if we're making a list, do we have a, I don't think it hurts to do the board of trustees and the president of IU, even if they're not even gonna do anything, but it's still just formally, they're technically the people in charge of.
Sure, yeah.
They work in our city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So board of trustees, president, Monroe County Commission, Monroe County Council, sheriff, and who else? Is that it?
IU parking operations.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a whole thing about it on their website.
Yeah.
Well, and they'll have an official email address that
Yeah.
places go, so it doesn't necessarily need to be like I need the,
Okay.
person's.
Can you say that list again?
Yeah, so I had-
IU parking operations,
Board of trustees, president, Monroe County Commission, Monroe County Council, say all members of the Monroe County Commission, all members of the Monroe County Council, and the sheriff.
Okay.
There's no disadvantage in creating a very large list.
I don't
is
think
there?
you want
No.
a very, like a super exhaustive list. I think there is some intention to try and make it
targeted
to like, these were the people that we wanted to call out
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
have the power.
It should be
to-
intentional.
Yeah.
You know.
And did we want to say IUPD or no?
It sounded like they did.
No.
I don't really care,
Okay.
but it sounded like people were saying no, so.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, it's just under parking
Okay.
right now.
Monroe County Council and Monroe County Commissioners, does it make sense to send to both, or is there one venue that's more appropriate for this? I have to admit, I don't totally understand the difference between the two, and they have the same acronym, so that confuses me.
The council is the one that like passes like the budget and things. So they would be the one that makes that-
I guess that makes sense. So
And
the commissioners are like the executive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be like sending it to the city council and the mayor, which
I see, okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I think both make sense.
Okay. Okay, so Board of Trustees, IU President, the County Sheriff, IU Parking Operation, and all members of the Monroe County Council and all members of the Monroe County Commission.
Yeah.
Did I miss any on that?
That sounds good. We can add the lawyer, the county lawyer too, but I don't think that's really necessary. I think that we've got a
I think
good
the
list.
county lawyer will get it.
Yeah, we've got a good list.
I think they get anything that goes to the council.
Yeah. That sounds good to me.
Okay, yeah, I'll make a motion to add those in that sequence, just kind of the way I stated it. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, right at the end of section 5 there, I'll get rid of the word "and," so it says the Bloomington Monroe County Human Rights Commission, comma, and then the rest of the list: Indiana University Board of Trustees, Indiana University President, Monroe County Sheriff, Indiana University Parking Operation, Monroe County, all members of the Monroe County Commission, and all members of the Monroe County Council.
Sounds good.
So that's my motion.
Second.
There's a second. All right, any discussion on that? We'll discuss that.
Yeah, I think we discussed that.
All right, then we'll move on a vote for that amendment. And we'll go down the list. Okay, Tara?
Yes.
Yes, Justin, yes. Matt?
Yes.
Yes. Christopher?
Yes.
Yes. Zach?
Yes.
Yes. Councilmember Rowell?
Yes.
Yes. Quentin Gill?
Yes.
Yes. Alex?
Yes.
Yes. Maria?
Yes.
Yes. Anna?
Yes.
Yes. And Ross?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, and then it passes 11-0. Okay, so we're back on the original resolution as amended with our 2 amendments. Any further discussion? All right. Oh, yeah.
There's a part of me that wants. I was not familiar with Garrett Langley, the CEO of Flock's letter to the community previously. I kind of want
the
to.
email to the police department?
Yeah. I kind of want a whereas clause spelling out just as an extra detail, how poor of a response that was. But I also don't know that that really adds much. I'm happy to nod. It just
I'm not familiar with was this in the packet?
It was in the, so I sent another addendum packet.
The addendum
right?
packet?
Yeah.
Okay, I only got through part of the addendum packet.
Well, that's okay. Let me pull it up right now since, where's my stop share? Where's my Zoom? Okay, I think that's the one, and we're going to number 6. No, that's not the one. Yeah, here it is. So this was sent on Monday, December 8th, 2025. My understanding is that this is actually like a mass email that went out to a bunch of their law enforcement customers. It wasn't just the Bloomington Police Department, but yeah, it's from Flock Safety CEO Garrett Langley. And the subject is fact check, no hack, we will never stop fighting for you. And I'm guessing you're sort of referring to some of the stuff that's starting like down here about activists and that law enforcement agencies are under coordinated attack by people who are, what does he say, weaponizing the public records process. Yeah, this email also left a bad taste in my mouth.
Which email was this attached to?
This was in the packet addendum.
Yeah, it's on page 14 addendum.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a little like, sales will be in touch. Yeah.
It's a weird email.
Always be closing.
I think on Friday the 6th that went out, right? Agenda draft.
Oh yeah.
The email went out to.
Yeah, I'm talking about the addendum.
Yeah, the addendum went out with the meeting notice and packet. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. That's your turn. Okay. Yeah.
I imagine you're typing up some language.
I maybe have been working on something during the meeting.
Oh, that's totally fine. No, I was just going to ask if you had something you wanted to put forward, if you wanted to. Kind of this class, but.
Hi. Does acknowledging this add anything, or is it just that it's kind of under my skin because of the extent of tone deafness of it? Because if people are like, it's good as is, I'm satisfied with that answer.
I mean, there's maybe an argument to be made that our linking of this to our mission is in the need for like a transparent society for a sustainable society, and this is saying that transparent society is bad, but I think it would be difficult to.
It'd have to be worded
whereas
really
that,
well.
yeah.
And I think almost if we worded it didn't spend a lot of time wording it correctly, it almost is like dignifying this with a response. Like we just almost is better just saying, I don't know, to ignore it kind of because it's so ridiculous.
It lacks substance that I think makes it not worth responding to, I think.
It's this line that you would get from a mini teal, but I don't know if it is articulatable with the core rationale that you can link to the mandate of the commission without meaningful work. I think you could do it, but
yeah.
Okay. I think I was just looking through to see if I did mention it, or just like the fact that email exists, but I don't think that I did. Okay.
I'm fine. Not
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I do appreciate you calling some attention to it though, because I also had not gotten that far in the additional materials, and it's a rough one to read.
Yeah. No, sorry, this didn't go out sooner.
I think that the addendum packet is part of our meeting materials.
I put it in a separate packet so that you wouldn't have to, so that if people wanted to dig into some of this stuff for background information, they could, but it wasn't, it was going to be separate from all the like stuff that you really need to read and review.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it should,
But
since
it's
it's
in
part
our-
of official materials, I think it should go up as like a separate
Errata,
packet
yeah.
sort of thing,
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
But yeah, could you just attach that letter as an exhibit without having to do like?
Well, I was just wondering if it's part of our meeting materials, because I think that I read some of the earlier stuff, and I think it's just useful context for anybody from the public who wants to learn more about why we pursued this as a commission.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But yeah, but I don't know that it needs to be called out in the resolution itself. But it's great research, and I think valuable to be part of the public. I think it's valuable research to be part of the public record.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, any further discussion, amendments, et cetera? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to a vote to adopt resolution 2026-02 as amended. Tara?
Yes.
Yes. Justin? Yes. Matt?
Yes.
Yes. Christopher?
Yes.
Yes. Zach?
Yes.
Yes. Councilmember Rallo?
Yes.
Yes. Quentin?
Yes.
Yes. Alex?
Yes.
Yes. Maria?
Yes.
Yes. Shanghai is absent. Diana?
Yes.
Yes. And Ross?
Yes.
Yes. The resolution is adopted, 11-0. Very good. So I will make that final amendment that we just talked about in the transmittal section, and I'll incorporate the first run that we got there, and I'll send that around so everybody has the final copy of that, and then we'll get it transmitted out where it needs to go.
The addendum will get added to our, is it added as a separate packet
I
to
don't
our
know,
meeting materials? I don't know
Is
how
it
that-
on board already? It might be. I haven't.
We just add it to our minutes for the next time, potentially. Is that?
I think we can just add it as a second packet to the.
Yeah.
You can add multiple
It
packets
just
to a
gets
meeting
put up
on
as
board.
a packet,
Yeah, yeah.
packet
Yeah, you know better than I
parentheses
do.
two.
Yeah,
is what's on
packet
board.
two,
Yeah.
this
I
thing
think
is personal, yeah.
There's 5 on today's.
Yeah.
All right, let me go back to my agenda here.
It'll
But
go
anyway,
on board if it's not already.
Yeah. Okay. That's all right. Nope, that's the same one. Well, while I'm pulling this up, we'll move on to agenda item 9A, which is resolutions for first reading, resolution 2026-03, concerning the pedestrianization of Kirkwood Avenue and sustainable transportation. So normally for the first readings, we don't do a whole lot of like debate and amendment type stuff. We usually just give a quick intro, and if there's any like pertinent questions, like I don't understand this sort of thing, then we can chat about that. Let me pull it up, and real quick before we make a motion on that, I also want to, okay, I should not try to talk while I'm actively doing stuff. There we go. Yeah, and before we properly introduce it, I had an email with a statement today from Jane Coopersmith, who's the director of ESD, regarding the plans for Kirkwood 2026. So I figured I'd just read that statement here, and then we'll put that in the official, like the packet materials for the next meeting when we go through the adoption portion of it. So that statement reads as follows. City staff is extremely interested in a shared space and more pedestrianization space long-term for Kirkwood. Planning and economic and sustainable development will work together this year on an RFP process for a consultant for a corridor study of Kirkwood to ensure that we consider safety, best design practices, and economic impact. There will be significant public outreach related to the corridor study, which we plan to start in early 2027. There is great appetite for a shared space or more pedestrian-focused space on the part of staff. It is the implementation of this closure that was untenable for the reasons outlaid in our various memos to Council and Public Works. In the meantime, the applications for parklets have launched, and there is a robust slate of space activation and event-related street closures planned that will bring that uniquely Bloomington summer feeling to Kirkwood. So I'll make sure this gets into the packet materials as well. With that, I will entertain a motion to consider resolution 2026-03 for first reading.
So moved.
And there is a second. Okay.
Second.
Oh, sorry. Oh, you said so moved.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, and a second. Perfect. Okay, so are there any clarifying questions, or does, Zach, do you want to say a few words just about?
Yeah, just, I mean, briefly,
the
it just
rationale?
goes into, the whereas clauses are all basically the context of what brought us to this point. And then the operative clauses are where, so that's, I encourage you to please read the whereas clause. It kind of goes through the detail of how we got here. There were a couple of footnotes that got cut off.
Oh, no.
I can maybe add those as an amendment, if they were just additional context, not a big deal. Maybe I can add those as an amendment next time, not a big deal. The operative clauses are, I mean, where the kind of the meat of it is. Essentially, I'm recommending that we at a minimum keep the summer closure of Kirkwood to cars. B, long-term strongly consider permanently closing Kirkwood to cars and not just doing it in the summer, doing it year-round. C, study multiple other cities that are college towns that are very similar to Bloomington have successfully done permanent year-round closures that are like the focal point of their entire cities. Study those cities, see what they've done, and implement that here. D, prioritize permanent investment in streetscape improvements instead of just closing the street and calling it done. We need to like put benches and planters and things like that to make it a better, more agreeable, more pleasant place to be. E, I'm suggesting we remove the administration of the program from the Department of Economic and Sustainable Development to Planning and Transportation, because I fundamentally don't see this as an economic or sustainable development thing. It's more of a planning and public space issue, and I think the Planning and Transportation Department is better equipped and has more resources to handle that. And I'm also saying that they should recommend to the council that they repeal Section 7 of Ordinance 2502, which is the ordinance which authorized the summer program, and that is the part of the ordinance that allows the city to shut down the program on their own. I'm saying we should just get rid of that. And I think earlier on I say something about replacing that with requiring council approval to shut it down. So that's essentially what it is. The statement of values then basically says that sustainable cities prioritize people over cars, especially in their most central public places, and that Bloomington's identity as a walkable, bikeable community should be reflected in the design of its most prominent and iconic pedestrian corridor. And then I suggest a whole bunch of people send it to. Yeah, that's the resolution in a nutshell. I'm happy to take any questions or any concerns you guys have, or if not, we can talk next time.
Yeah, so for now, if there's any clarifying questions about what exactly it is, we can go through those. Otherwise, if there's like, discussion about the merits of the resolution or things that should change, we can probably save that for next time. But Tara, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question if there is any information about the accessibility of buildings, especially public buildings like the library during closures. Or if there is any like documentation from accessibility or disability justice groups about the impact for people using mobility devices.
Yeah.
Of the street closures. I have anecdotally heard stuff about that, but I'm curious if there, I mean, I know that it's accessible, but like lots of places that say they're accessible are not actually accessible.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if there's any kind of like documentation of like, is this actually wide enough? Are there sufficient handicap parking spaces on the remaining sides? Like, are there, whatever information about that for people that can't access some of those buildings when it's close to car traffic.
Okay.
I can't speak to specific details. I'm not involved in this project, but I know that that was one of the really heavy considerations. So my coworkers within ESD probably could speak to that if you would like to reach out to them.
And that part of the reason why I said we should study other cities that have successfully done this, they've successfully done it, and it's the focal point of their cities, and they don't really have the same, they've managed to handle the accessibility concerns. And there's ways you can do it that allow people with disabilities to be able to still access the block. So that's part of the reason why I said study other cities and see what they've done. Because it definitely can be done. It's been done before in many other cities. So I think it can be done here. I don't think there's any reason why we couldn't do it here. But that's a fair point.
I think one area we could study as well is looking at what they do at the state fair. They have, Indiana State Fair has this transportation system that seems to move a lot of people around. It seems like something like that could work down here to help get people, where they need to go, in a space that has a lot of people walking, you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Any last minute clarifying questions on the resolution? Otherwise we could, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I did, maybe not so much a question, but just to say that I was opposed to the reopening. It was our understanding it would be open this year.
Yeah.
I think the expectation of a lot of restaurateurs was that it would be closed, and that so there wasn't. I think it was important for certainty on their part.
Yeah.
But then comes the matter of whether the city engineer is empowered to make this decision. And this has been a dispute at the council, between the council administration. And at this point, because we're lacking a council attorney, it's sort of in limbo at this point. So that part will have to be revisited, whether the council has authority to make permanent or temporary change. Certainly the city engineer has the ability to make temporary changes, but whether it falls to the administration or the council, it formally always went to the council in terms of decisions like this. So we're going to have to get clarification about that from our new attorney on state statute and how to interpret it. So, but I see you've got a lot of experience with this, so I'm very impressed by the information and looking forward to more debate on it, for sure. I mean, FYI, I mean, it is, I'm leaning toward permanent closure, but I need to really hear from constituents and businesses. I understand that when polled, it was about, I think it was 10 businesses were wanting to be reopened, and about 20 wanted it closed. Obviously, restaurants, it's in their interest. Other places that don't benefit from it necessarily being closed. I mean, they have accessibility problems. So, so I'm interested in debating it further, and I really appreciate all the work you put in. So cool. Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we move on to a vote? So this is just to advance it past the first reading, and it'll be on our agenda again next meeting for a second reading and adoption. Okay, Tara.
Yes.
Yes. Justin. Yes. Matt.
Yes.
Yes. Christopher.
Yes.
Yes. Zach.
Yes.
Yes. Councilmember Morello.
Yes.
Yes. Quentin.
Yes.
Yes. Alex.
Yes.
Yes. Maria.
Yes.
Yes. Shane Lai is absent. Diana.
Yes.
Yes. And Ross.
Yes.
Yes. Wonderful. That advances to a second reading at the next meeting. That brings us to resolution 2026-04, which is sponsored by Matt. And I'll let you have the floor to just describe what this one's about.
So with all the recent news that President Trump was pushing glyphosate to be something related to national security, and all the conversations that have been happening about it, it's kind of made sense. And I've opposed glyphosate for a long time, with the urban farm and soil health being very, very important. And that's part of the reason why Garden Q, myself, my sister are working so hard with Bokashi, because Bokashi is a solution to soil health, can contribute greatly to the health of soil. So this is very simple. I've seen the city, I haven't seen them actually spray glyphosate, but I saw what I really like is actually put a sign up that glyphosate was sprayed here. So I like that aspect. Fortunately, it was right on the edge of the road next to the community orchard, in the area where they have wood chips and other things dropped off. So, and then I had a neighbor who had contracted work out, and they were putting glyphosate on their gravel drive, and all the water, we were downstream from them. And so I got into a heated argument with the gentleman, to put it lightly. So basically this is just saying that we don't want glyphosate used in public areas. We want to look at other options like integrated pest management. Yeah, it's very, very simple. And as for, there have been other cities that have already done this. College towns like Lawrence has implemented an integrated pest management program aimed at reducing chemical herbicides. And then Evanston, Illinois, and Urbana, Illinois as well, when we're talking close places similar to Bloomington. So it's very simple. Just let's stop using glyphosate. There's other ways that you can do it: vinegar, salts, things like that.
Very good. Is there a motion to consider resolution 2026-04 for first reading? Motion and a second.
Second.
Perfect. All right. So again, any urgent questions that need to be answered about this before we go to the next month? Yeah. Councilman Morello.
Yeah, I appreciate the resolution. It came up in the last administration, actually, and I was interested in this, so I queried the then director of Parks and Rec, and they utilize it. And I think that's how the notification became part of, I don't know, operations. I don't know if it was codified or not, but it became, you know, essentially a warning because, you know, of chemical sensitivity or people want to avoid it and so forth. My only caution is, I mean, when I queried before to find out, and I can share this list, it's probably changed, but, you know, I asked for insecticides, herbicides, fungicides that were used, growth inhibitors that were used in the past at this time, and that was 10 years ago. And I got a list, itemized list with volumes or poundage, and some seem to me to be, you know, really discretionary or unnecessary that would be addressed by probably other means. So things like, you know, Twin Lakes ball fields. You know, they were using it, glyphosate to spray along fence rows. Seems like we could find other means to do.
Yeah.
However, I would like to say that I make an exception with natural resources because I was convinced that about this time or about that time that it's an important part of treating non-native invasive species. That is that, you know, if it's used in a very discrete way where you know, calorie pears or bush honeysuckles or, you know, multiflora rose, which have large root masses, difficult to take out, would require a lot of labor and work and everything. To cut it off and paint the stump, which is a very minimal amount. So they were using just a few gallons to do that. And they were using it at Griffey to essentially eliminate these non-native invasives that would ordinarily not be able to be treated. I mean, I used to work I used to be a farmer. The people across the street from me sprayed it on their 40 acres. I mean, in huge quantities. That's what the Trump administration wants to defend. I think it has, and I see in the resolution, and I appreciate this, that in section 1, it says that it encourages the city council and other relevant entities to adopt policies that prohibit or restrict the use of the glyphosate. So I see that, you know, operationally, I would like to prohibit it in cases, especially where people are recreating at ball fields and things like that, and only have it utilized in places where it might be absolutely necessary. So I wondered about if that sounds acceptable.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Because I know we took down the electric company took down a calorie pear, and they asked about putting glyphosate onto the root, and I said no. Okay. We're gonna do some vinegar and So like really targeted applications on invasives makes complete sense.
Yeah. So I think maybe before we hear this again, I could inquire at Parks and Rec to see if I can get a current list.
Oh.
So the commission can see exactly where what's being utilized and where specifically, and then we can kind of go from there. But overall, I think I like it how you framed it.
Okay.
Because I would like to restrict it if at all possible. I'd love it if there was an alternative, and maybe I'll inquire to see if there is something that could be utilized right now. Ellen Jacquard, who, you know, was the ecologist well, she works with MC Iris right now, or whatever it's called, Indiana.
It's MCI.
Is it MCI?
Yeah.
Okay, she's with INPS, which used to be NPAWS, which is the Indiana Native Plant Society or something. Right? Anyway, she does it actively, and she's done it for years. She would be a resource, so we'll be in touch and we can inquire about that. All right. Sorry to take so much time.
Yeah, my quickest comment is to say that the city of Bloomington's integrated pest management plan that they do at the forefront of it say the goal is to reduce pesticide, herbicide use as much as possible. So yeah, take a look at that too, and I can connect with Joanna Sparks as well. I used to do cut step treatment, actually use glyphosate myself, so I have some experience with that, being very limited quantities, as you explained. So anyway, I just wanted to.
Is that the one that's blue when they paint it, so that you can see what's been treated?
All right, we should probably move on because we're 2 minutes away from the end of the meeting, and we still have a staff report to get through. So, okay, so this is to advance to a second reading, resolution 2026-0. Four.
Four.
Four. Tara?
Yes.
Yes. Justin, yes. Matt?
Yes.
Yes. Christopher? Yes. Zach?
Yes.
Yes. Councilmember Varela?
Yes.
Yes. Quentin?
Yes.
Yes. Alex?
Yes.
Yes. Maria?
Yes.
Yes. Diane?
Yes.
Yes. And Ross?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that brings us to the staff liaisons report. Do you need a couple more minutes?
No.
We can extend it.
I'll just go really fast.
Okay, sorry.
I just have an update on Project 46, which is the Southern Indiana Regional Climate Alliance between Bloomington, Nashville, and Columbus. We are applying for a grant through Climate Smart Communities Initiative. We are requesting $72,000 for a green infrastructure planning grant for the 3 cities. So I'll keep you posted on that if we are awarded. We have finished our LED lighting upgrades at fire stations 4 and 5, the animal shelter, sanitation building, and Banneker Center. So that's all that I have.
Nice. Thank you very much. Any questions for Sean? All right, well, thank you. That brings us to member announcements. Boy, we have 40 seconds left. Who's got something they want to share?
Garden Q is restarting their bokashi workshops starting in May, and you'll see that on the Community Orchards website. And then also is partnered with Wonder Lab to do to introduce bokashi to their end of summer, beginning of summer, end of school year festival, and is partnering again with the Taste of Bloomington. And it looks like we're gonna have some waste stations that are sponsored by Coke Consolidated. They're not cheap, but are going to make it much better experience in dealing with your recyclables, your landfill, and your food waste. So we're excited about that, and also talking about Coke's goal at taking every single bottle and turning that back into a new bottle. They haven't been doing that until this 2023 is when they started this program. We felt like that recycling was great, but that's much better.
20 seconds.
Yeah.
20 seconds.
Yeah, go.
Bloomington Energy Works, the residential outreach side of things, we're doing a large canvassing outreach effort the last weekend in March, so March 28th, 29th. If anybody wants to go walk around and knock on doors, the weather's probably going to be great for it. We would love to have additional people.
And it's a lot of fun. I've done.
Yes, thank you.
Nice.
Can I, the Ashkenazi Museum has a fiber arts installation on the main floor that is about the ecology and recycled materials that is astonishing, and everybody should go see it. There's some stuff that's crocheted out of all food delivery bags.
Nice.
All right, we got 8 seconds.
If you want to plant a tree, there's several tree planting events happening through Canopy Bloomington over the next few weeks to a couple months.
Excellent.
How do we find it?
It's called Canopy Bloomington. It's online. I don't know the website. I'm sorry.
CanopyBloomington.org or
Search
.com.
on the internet.
People
for
watching
that.
at home.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to the end of the meeting. Those are great. Lots of member announcements. We'd like to see that. Our next meeting is at April 14th, and we stand adjourned at 7:31 p.m. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.